Hello students, today we'll be studying the number of increasing functions from a to b. So set A I have taken some n elements x1, x2, x3 so on up to xn. So set A I'm having n elements. Set B I have taken some elements like y1, y2, y3 so up to ym. So set A I'm having some n elements are there. In our set B, we are having some m elements are there. So we have to do mapping in such a way that it has to form an increasing function. So let's try to understand means increasing function means what is the meaning? More the x value, more the y value it has to be. Okay, so if we consider these numbers are arranged as per which order? Increasing order. So what should happen? F of x1 value should be lesser when compared to f of x2, when compared to f of x3, so on up to less than f of xn. So this is an increasing function because more the x value, more is the y value. So this is one case. Now this case can be done in how many ways? What we have to do, out of these m elements, we have to select any n elements and we have to do mapping. Because if I want to write some numbers here, this number should be either from y1 to ym, this number should be either from y1 to ym, this number should be from y1 to ym. So what we have to do, out of those m elements, you take any n elements, out of these m elements take any n elements and do mapping. And what we have to do, and we have to map in the increasing way. For example, if you have taken some numbers like 1 2 3 5, then first element will go to the lesser number, second will go to the next lesser, in that way. So we have whatever the numbers will select, for that one only one way of arrangement will be there. So just we have to take selection here. Next, what we have to do is, out of these inequalities, we can keep somewhere an equality sign. Because increasing function means we can have somewhat in this way like 1, 2, 2, 3. So this is also called as increasing. This is a case of strictly increasing. The case of strictly increasing means x1 element is going to 1, x2 element is going to 2, x3 element is also going to 2, and x4 element is going to 3. So this is a case of an increasing function only. So what we have to do, f of x1 is less than f of x2 is equal to f of x3, so on up to less than f of xn. So what we have to do, out of these, how many gaps will be there in between? Total n elements are there, so total n minus 1 number of gaps will be there. So out of those n minus 1 number of gaps, select any one gap and keep equal to sign over there. Okay, so here how many different elements we have to select? Out of these y elements, I required only n minus 1 number of elements, because in this, among these n elements, two elements will have same number. So what I need to do, out of these n elements, and out of these m elements, I required only n minus 1 number of numbers, and I will do mapping in such a way that two elements will be same, two elements will go to the same number, and remaining all will be different numbers as per increasing order. So case number 3, if you follow that pattern, what will happen? Out of these n minus 1 numbers, we can have a numbers in such a way that two of them can be same, like f of x1 is equal to f of x2 and it is less than f of x3, and f of x3 equal to f of x4 is less than, so on up to less than f of xn. So what will happen, out of these n minus 1 and out of this n minus 1 less than inequality symbols, we have to select any two. Okay, and how many different numbers are required to keep those numbers among these places, is out of those m we required n minus 2. Okay, so if we keep on doing, we'll be getting the last case, that is f of x1 is equal to f of x2 is equal to, so on up to f of xn. That is equal to what, children? What we have to do, out of these n minus 1 inequalities, we have to select all n minus 1 inequalities. For keeping these for doing mapping, how many different numbers are required out of these m numbers? Just we required only one number, because that one number will give it to all of them. So different cases if we add, so what will be getting? Total number of ways of getting an increasing function is equal to mc naught. And what I will do, just for convenience, we can do one thing, we can also write into n minus 1 into c naught also we can write, just to understand the pattern. If we add these two, you're getting n. If we add these two, n. If we add these two, n. So we can write this one as na, n minus 1 c naught into mcn plus n minus 1 c1 into mcn minus 1 plus n minus 1 c2 into mcn minus 2 plus so on up to n minus 1 cn minus 1 into mc1. So if you observe, it is following a binomial series. Not two different binomials are running now. So this is called as binomial series. Binomial series. And which two binomials we have to consider? So first binomial is 1 plus x whole to the power of n minus 1 binomial, because we are having index as n minus 1. The second binomial is 1 plus x whole to the power of m, because index we are having as m. So if you run this summation, n minus 1 c naught in c naught plus n minus 1 c1 into x plus n minus 1 c2 into x square plus so on up to n minus 1 c n minus 1 into x to the power of n minus 1. Next, similarly, if we'll take this binomial, what do you get, children? We'll get something like mc naught plus mc1 mc1 into x plus mc2 into x square plus so on up to mcn into x to the power of n plus mcn plus 1 into x to the power of n plus 1 n plus 1 plus so on up to mcm into x to the power of n. So if you observe, n minus 1 c naught into mcn, n minus 1 c naught into mcn. So if you multiply these two binomials, which coefficient it is? It is x to the power of n coefficient. Similarly, n minus 1 c1, here it is x mc n minus 1. So here we'll be having one more term, mc n minus 1 into x to the power of n minus 1. So if you multiply these two, which coefficient it is? Again x to the power of n. So if you multiply these two, 1 plus x whole to the power of n minus 1 into 1 plus x whole to the power of m equal to. Now multiply the first binomial with the second binomial. So if you multiply these two binomials, we'll be getting some constant term. Constant term will be n minus 1 c naught into mc naught. Constant into constant. Similarly, some x term will be there, some x squared term will be there. But what is our required term? Required term will be the x to the power of n coefficient. What if you multiply these two, whatever the x to the power of n coefficient is there, that is only required. So if you multiply these two, 1 plus x whole to the power of m plus n minus 1. So x to the power of n coefficient on right side is required. So x to the power of n coefficient in left side and right side both will be same. So therefore what happens, x to the power of n coefficient on LHS is equal to what, children? M plus n minus 1 Cn. We have to find x to the power of n coefficient. And we also know that NC are equal to NC n minus r. So we can write this one as m plus n minus 1 C n minus r. If we'll take difference of these two, I'll be getting m minus 1. So if set A n elements are given, set B m elements are given. So how many ways we can do mapping so that resultant will be an increasing function? Increasing function means more the x value, more should be the y value. So we have to do mapping in such a way that to get an increasing function. So this is an case of increasing function. So if you want to understand with an example, like if you have 1 2 3, if you have 4 5 6, so increasing function means like 1 is going to 4 and 2 is going to 6, 3 is going to 6. So this is an example of increasing function, because f of one value is lesser when compared to f of 2, and it can be equal to f of 3. So it is not strictly increasing, it is an increasing. So like this, just we have understand three elements in set A and the three elements in set B is given, so we can make an increasing function. This is one case. Like that we can do many number of cases. Just what you have to do, m equal to 3, n equal to 3, m equal to 3. If we evaluate, you'll be getting number of ways we can do mapping. So this is the number of increasing functions that can be done from set A to set B. So I hope everybody has understood. If anybody is having anything doubt, any point is not clear, so let me all of you text in the comment section. Okay, thank you all of you.